people that you talk to and you spend the most time around. So if everybody in your circle is using, they're not gonna stop you from using. And if that's the case and you're trying to get somewhere with your life, you gotta really look at your circle. I'm not saying that you have to blame them for your choices. No, but I am saying that you wanna surround yourself with people who are actually trying to better themselves and understand moderation. Understand that, hey, you can cut loose, you can have fun, you can do what you do, but you also got priorities, you also got responsibilities. Whether you're an entertainer or you're just an everyday human being, you got responsibilities, you got priorities. Whatever you decide to indulge in, don't let that shit take you off what you're supposed to be doing. Straight up. I think that's why I did the things that I did as long as I did, because I was still able to maintain and do what I needed to do on a day-to-day. I tried not to let it bring me down, but looking back in hindsight, I did go through that period with cocaine where I felt like, damn, this is too much, when I had to look myself in the mirror and just say, I don't like who I'm seeing. I don't like who I'm becoming. It wasn't that I had to go to rehab or none of that shit. I actually kept it from a lot of my friends. My really close friends, I didn't really tell too many people until after I stopped using. And I remember one time going around my peoples and I knew that they knew. They didn't say nothing to me, but I knew they knew, like, something's up with him. And it kind of made me take a step back and just look at myself. Like, damn, what are you doing? You know? It wasn't anybody giving me one of those interventions and none of that shit. It was just me taking a step back and realizing, hey, this ain't working for me. I don't like who I'm becoming. I don't like how this makes me feel. I feel like I had to go through that to really be empathetic to other people who were battling shit. But what it really comes down to is just moderation, yo. Like, you have to know yourself. You got to know what works for you. And, you know, when you're young, I'm not going to tell you don't have your fun. Have your fun. I did. But I'm also still here to talk about it. Think about artists like Whitney. I keep using her as an example because, for one, this poster is dope. Yeah, this poster is sick. But another reason is like, yo, she had a very promising future. She was one of, like, the best artists in the business. And drugs took out. You feel me? Drugs, man. DMX. Remember, DMX was at the height of his shit. Drugs brought him down. Drugs. You know? I ask myself where I'm at today. If I was put in position, would I allow that to be what deters me? Nah, man. Nah. I'm very, very thankful that I've done as much experimenting and stuff as I have, and I'm still here. Some people aren't. You know? But again, if you know anybody who's dealing with substance abuse issues, talk to them. Don't judge them, talk to them. I remember one of my little homies stepped to me a while back and was like, hey, I want you to make a song. I want you to make a song about my experience with my mother and drugs. I'm like, okay. And then he goes into detail about how his or her drug usage affected the childhood of him, his brother, and his sister. And he said, I want you to be the voice for me to talk to my mother. To be honest with y'all, I was kind of reluctant to do it. I'm like, I don't know about that. I actually knew his mom. And, you know, I ended up doing the record. I let him hear it. And then I asked him if he let her hear it. He was like, yeah, she actually heard it. He called her on a speakerphone and he let me talk to her. And she said, you know, I already respected you as an artist before I heard this record, but after hearing this record, it really hit me a little different, because everything that you're saying is what I put my kids through because of my drug usage. I mean, I didn't like how that made me feel, you know, and I'm so glad that you were able to communicate his emotion to me through a song. You know, I hope that helped to strengthen the bond between them, but I know it was a sensitive subject in their household. I think anybody dealing with drug abuse it's a sensitive subject for them, whether they're famous or whether they're not. You know, but again, if you know somebody who's battling with something, try to talk to them. Don't talk at them. Talk to them. Don't put them down. Try to help them, especially if you know they need the help. Some people, hey, they ain't even looking for the help. They're just having fun. That's cool. But if you see somebody that's struggling with it, or it's really changing their lives or their demeanor, or they're not handling their responsibilities or their priorities, and you a true friend, or you a true family member, talk to them. Don't talk at them. Talk to them. You just might save a life. And that record is online that I'm speaking on. It's called What You Doing, Mama? It's funny because a lot of people heard the record. I didn't really give a backstory on anything when I did it. I just did it and put it on one of my projects. And a lot of people hit me after the fact like, damn, your mama's on drugs? Wow, we ain't know this. No. As an artist, I put myself in somebody else's shoes. And I just kind of painted the picture that they wanted me to paint. But it's such a universal picture. I felt like, well, hell, I could do this and it's going to resonate with people all over for different reasons. Everybody knows somebody dealing with some drug addiction or that's been through some drug addiction. You may have been through some drug addiction. I've been through some drug addiction. I am no different than you. The only difference between me and some folks is I came to grips with my addiction and I did something about it. It ain't easy. Depending on what you want. I know people who are on heroin. And it's hard to beat. That's a hard one to like just stop doing. Go cold turkey from. Same thing with meth. Same thing with coke. Same thing with crack. You know, they're all different, but the addiction factor is what makes it such a big topic for me because, again, I done lost friends behind this shit. I done lost people that I love and I genuinely cared about that. Their lack of control over their substance abuse is what took them out. Or we as fans of entertainment and artists and all that have lost iconic figures because of drugs, man. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to Mac Miller. Rest in peace to Whitney. Rest in peace to Jimi Hendrix. Rest in peace. Man, we could do this all day. There's a whole long list of artists and entertainers and celebrities, and all this is just, it's sad, yo. But I digress. Look, if you know somebody and they need help, help them. But don't talk down to them. Try to help them up. And on that note, I got to get up out of here. Y'all need to tune in right now, or maybe in about 15, 20 minutes. Tune in on Zoom. Go to Project Blowed LA or Abby Rizzle on Instagram. Go there right now and find the link to the Project Blowed after party, which I'm about to be a panelist on here in just a second. You know what I mean? Thank you to everybody in the Project Blow family for allowing me to be a part of this. Shout out to everybody on all platforms that may be tuning in, might see this late or whatever. Hey, I apologize to y'all for the lack of consistency. I'm going to make up for that. Straight up. I just been going through some things in my life. You know what I mean? But that's not neither here nor there. We still going to keep it rocking. And one last note. Again, if you know somebody who's dealing with some addiction, help them. I can't stress that shit enough. Help them. Peace and love to all y'all. I'm going to see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.